Why, hello, and welcome back to, what was it? Episode, I've forgotten now. We literally said this a minute. Episode 8. Eight. There we go. Thank you.
This guy and his intros, man.
Honestly, I shouldn't be the one introing the show. But anyway, we're back with episode 8. And as you can see, there are two, how do I call them? Weird individuals below this.
Yeah, people is a stretch. People is a stretch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we have Meg, who's, if we're flipping it, she's down there, to me, in my perspective. And we have Will down there.
Hello.
Yeah. So basically, what the premise for this week is me and Gio are at the same university, and Will and Meg are at the same university. They're on different courses, but it still applies. So we basically thought we'd have, because we're like, what is it now? At least 5-6 months into uni. We thought we'd just have an honest
halfway.
Yeah, thought we'd just have an honest conversation about how we feel university's gone and whether we think it's worth it and stuff like that. So
it's funny because I actually had a friend message me and asked me if he thinks it's worth the money. That was his first question. And the second question was if I've got other opportunities that I can take career-wise. He didn't really go into what they were, but he was like, if I've got other opportunities I can take, should I take them? I don't know how you got feel.
Going to be there.
That's exactly what I said. I said to him, bro, at the moment, especially during the whole, what's going on in the world, just not worth it. Like, we're paying $9 grand, and I don't know how your course is operating, but like I feel like me and Finton, like, we're missing out on so much. Like so me and Finton study journalism for context, and like things like, so obviously there's no live lessons like face to face, same everywhere, but things like, for example, we're doing a TV module at the moment, meant to be in the TV studio, not happening. So we're trying to learn a TV module all online, and it's just like, what are we even learning? Like, it's so pointless. Like, and
I think it's quite interesting as well, though, sorry, because you three are all doing like kind of practical courses where like you need the studio space. So obviously you two are doing journalism, and although it is like kind of theory based, you still need to be in the TV studio to learn certain things in terms of like how to use a teleprompter or how to interact within the space. And obviously Will's doing acting, which is just
he got screwed out of most of us. He got screwed so hard.
That's so
my class is meant to be like 9 to 5 face to face, Monday to Friday, and at the moment I've got about 4 hours of online stuff a week. So
that's bad.
It's fun.
That is bad.
Yeah, it's because they're like delaying things so that we actually do face to face stuff in the studios and face to face.
So what are you doing at the moment then for drama? What?
It's just the sort of theory stuff. So theories and histories module, and we're writing a piece that we're going to perform when we go back to face to face.
That's like the worst bit.
Yeah, literally.
It's some of the boring bits.
Man.
Whereas like for me, I'm doing English, so obviously I'm screwed over in some ways, but I'm sure we'll get into that later on. But in terms of the actual teaching, like even if I was in person, I'd still probably just be sat in a classroom talking, theorizing. There's not completely like the same discussion elements, because if they put you in a breakout room, you're not going to talk to someone really.
Oh, the horror stories with breakout rooms.
See, I don't know though. I don't know though, because Vincent says this a lot. Yeah, the horror stories, blah blah blah. Like, the first couple months of uni, if you got put in a breakout room, it was like,
it's the most awkward thing on earth.
Ever. But like now, like,
I think for our course,
okay.
To be fair,
I think we get along with most people.
Yeah, I think
I'm on a course of extroverts. I'm fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that is the thing.
And that.
I don't know if it's specifically because of me and Gio, but I think because like me, him, and Luke, who's like most people will know for that. But as in, we get on very well. Like if we're in the same room, we will just talk our backsides off until they're like, it would literally. We'll talk about the most dumb stuff, not even the work, and it makes other people start talking. So I think that's kind of helped.
Lisa, if you're here, we still get the work done though.
Yeah, true, Lisa. We swear we do the work.
Vincent, you gotta be careful what you say, man. We don't know who's watching, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we totally get the work done.
100%. But it is. Do you know what it is? Me and Finton just got along straight away. Like we kind of clicked on it. Like the first day we met, sort of became friends, and then people were like, "Oh, we thought you knew each other from before uni," and we were like, "Nah, man, we just get along." But like, I think for a lot of people, it ain't like that. It's hard, and then like you were saying, you get put into the breakout room with people you don't know. Half of them got their camera off, and it's a bit awkward. And
nobody has their camera on in my course at all, ever.
There you go.
Thing is, I genuinely, I get where the lecturers are coming from, because it is so much more difficult for me to talk to somebody with their camera off, because I'm like, they might not even be paying attention. Like, if people have got their cameras on, then I can like because we've all done, I don't know about Gio, but like the three of us, we all went to the same sixth form, we all did drama. Like, we're really good at having conversations with people to their face. So I find it so much easier to talk to people when they have their camera on, and people that don't, I'm just like, I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall, especially when
I actually took English at sixth form, funnily enough, so I can relate to what you're saying about, obviously uni English is way different to sixth form English, I know that, but like I'd actually struggle really, like I'd struggle a lot if I couldn't see people, like for an English course. Like, I don't know how you operate, but for me, like, I have a lot of ideas, but I need to get them out of my head to actually act upon them. Like, Finton knows, I'll just text Finton sometimes and be like, "Oh, this would be a cool concept for a video," and he's like, "Yeah, why are you telling me this at 4 a.m?" And I'm like, "I don't know." It just came in my head and I needed to get it out. Do you know what I mean? Like, so for English, like, I thrive when there's other people there and I'm like, "Oh, what about this?" And then they bounce it back. So how is that on an English course where people aren't really talking? Like, do you struggle?
We just put it in the type box, really. I'm like one of the only people that use the microphone, because I've always been the way that I express ideas a lot better through speaking them than writing them down. So if I'm making notes for an essay, I'll literally have like one note which is like a line, and it's just like some really random points. So I remember during the summer, the read English changed a bit as well between when we first started in like March, because we were like, "Oh, we're not done, we may as well get started on the reading," compared to when the official ones came out in August. But anyway, one of the original things was Narnia, and so I wrote notes Narnia. And
So
one of the
good.
things
I love Narnia.
I wrote, so I was like, one of the points I made was just like, Susan is a Karen, and then the next thing you know, I'm writing like a whole entire paragraph of just like plain notes, just saying like why Miss who was it? I was like, why Aslan can be a flawed character and how the allegory can be flawed. So it's just the way that I express stuff is just so weird.
Just got upgraded. Nice. Can't complain. Let's keep going.
Wait, did you get a notification for that? Because I didn't.
I got one, yeah.
I didn't get anything.
Meeting's been upgraded apparently, mate. You're just gonna have to cut this bit, I guess.
I've just accidentally pulled people around. Let me put them back. There we go. I've just ended up moving where people were. I don't know how I did that. But yeah.
How dare you move
I'm trying to remember what friends have changed for now. Right, Narnia. Yeah, so I was actually like just going on a massive tangent. And I suppose when I'm in, so how we did our course is, so from about, I don't know, September until October sort of time, we actually had one face-to-face lesson a week, and then that stopped. But I stopped attending them after like about 3 or 4, because only like 5 or 6 people would attend, because how they separated face-to-face classes was, I think they accidentally, without realizing, is that they put most of the single honours students with each other, and then for one face-to-face group, and then the other face-to-face group, they had like 6 or 7 single honours and the rest were joint honours. But so I was in the one with the single and joint, but of the single honours students, I think about 5 of them were international. So it was actually like 3 of us showing up to just the single honours lectures. That in the end, me and my friend were like, there's no point of going to them, so we just sat online for it.
We had a similar thing with ours, not with single honours and all that stuff, but we had, so at the very beginning, when we first started, we had like face-to-face lectures and online lectures. But what they did for the face-to-face ones, which is like, I like my lecturers, but this was so dumb, and I don't know whose idea it was, but
I know you're
they
about now.
split us into 2 buildings, right? So one One group had the actual lecturer who was leading the lecture, and then one group had like basically a supply teacher, and they connected the lectures through Zoom, which like I'm sure you can imagine how problematic that is, because all lesson you'd be like, oh, we can't hear you from the other room, and like all these things, and it was just long. And then
I got why they did it though, because they did like they had to keep a certain amount of people in the room, but I feel like they should have just given you two separate lecturers rather than Zoom.
So
weird.
On a Tuesday, the morning lecture would be group 1 and the afternoon lecture would be group 2, and the lecturer would literally repeat the exact same lecture.
That's what they should do.
So also if you're attending online, or even though there was an overlap between one of my lectures and the morning lecture, so I couldn't completely make the morning one if I was online, which was annoying. But you could also pick and choose which one you wanted to go to.
That's nice. I guess it's nice to have that freedom, because you know, like a lot of people moan in it, like, oh, I can't make these 9 a.m.s. I can't make these 9 a.m.s. Like, so it's nice instead to have a 2 p.m.
Do you know what the funniest thing is though? Is when we got to uni, is like the idea of a 10 a.m. start to me just blew my mind. I was like, the lion I can get with this.
End it. I was like, yes, 10 a.m. That's perfect. I can't lie though. That is a major struggle. I don't know how, like, I'll come to all you guys and ask you, right? But for me, like, because everything's online, I literally do everything in my room. So like, I'm in my room the entire uni day. Bro, if I have a lecture at 10, I'm awake at like 9. Like, I'm still waking up. Like, usually I'd be up at 8 if it was like a normal face-to-face, but I'm waking up like so much later. I'm struggling with the lectures. Like, these lectures are like 5-6 hours long, and you're just sat watching your computer, listening to someone talk at you. And because our module, not our module, but our course, like I say, is so hands-on, it's like, what am I even doing here? Like, this is so dead.
Yeah, again, it's really easy to zone out.
No disrespect to the lecturers, obviously they're doing what they can. Like, it's not their fault that, you know, this is going on, but it is really hard to engage. And the lecturers even know that. They even say to us, like, man, we know this is hard. Like, you just got to try. Like, how do you find that with like acting classes, for example? Like, what are you even doing things like that?
Well, no, because it's a acting course. The whole thing is training you to act. It's all very interactive. So with voice classes, the lecturer will like tell us all about the thing, and then we'll go into breakout rooms and we'll all try the different voice things that we've all been taught about. And so it's a very interactive thing. Everyone's got their cameras on. You've just got hundreds of people across your screen. So for me, I'm getting a lot more of this interactivity that you guys aren't getting, except for theories and histories, which is the academic module. And originally we were on a different program where you could only see one person's camera. So about 90% of the people didn't have their cameras on, didn't have their mics on, and were probably just playing PS4 the whole time. And I don't blame them.
Guilty.
Just actually, before we quickly go to Meg, I'm just curious, because me and Gio are on a course where we have maximum, if everybody attends a lecture, we have about 22 people. But like you just said, well, there's like hundreds. How many people are there on your course? Is it like a lot, or is it just not many?
I think it's 44 people in the whole year group, but it's usually calls of 15 or 20 people.
Okay, yeah. What about you? How big's your group? I feel like English is probably a bigger, have a bigger cohort.
We have quite a small, compared to other universities, the English cohort's kind of small. So I think there's more people doing joint honours than single honours. So single, I think there's 14 of us, but then of that, about 5 of them are international. So really, there's only 10 of us actually in Northampton. Oops. I accidentally said a face.
It's all good. That's fine. It'll be all right. It's fine.
Or you could just bleep it out.
That's true.
Yeah, still Gordon Ramsay. So there's about 10 of us actually at the university that are able to attend. And then if you combine it with join, I think it brings you to about 35, 40.
That's not too bad then. Yeah, because I mean,
So there's a lot
still
of people
pretty
doing joint
small
honours,
for an
like
English
joint
group.
drama, joint history, joint sociology, joint journalism, joint marketing.
a
Oh,
joint
okay.
course would be too much. Like, I think it's just I'd be like, nope, I could not do a joint course.
I
It'd be
nearly
too much
took.
content.
I actually had an unconditional offer from. I can't remember which uni it was in Birmingham, but a uni in Birmingham. For English and journalism, and I nearly took it. And like, I think if I'd taken it, I would probably die.
Wait. You
journalism is hard.
Bro, I had an unconditional from a Birmingham uni for English and journalism.
I thought I was special. Clearly, I'm not.
That's mental. That's mental.
I bet you there's a parallel universe out there where you both went and did that course in Birmingham.
Yeah, there is.
It was fate that you guys should find each other.
We had to meet. There you go. I
Honestly.
reckon if I'd chosen that course,
I was
Finton
confused. I was actually like quite shocked that you guys didn't cross paths before, because when I looked at Gio's Instagram, I was like, holy shit! Like, I know like this person. Like,
I had actually on this topic, right? I'm
just taking in the fact that she's been looking at my Instagram. I didn't.
And on this subject, right?
To follow someone on Instagram, and it says also followed by this person. I was like, oh shit!
Yeah.
My brothers, big brothers.
I had Gio message me earlier, Meg, on this subject of you looking at his Instagram when you
like,
followed him.
Who is this person that's followed me? What is going on?
He just messaged me like, who the hell is Meg Waters? So I was like, the person coming on the podcast.
Very small. It's like I've got like 100 followers in it. So like anyone that follows me, I'm like, who the fuck is this? So I'm very like curious and very cautious about people. But yeah, so I was like, here we are now, all doing the podcast. It was fate.
Hey.
But yeah, man.
There's
carry on.
There's a lot of stuff to talk about with uni that's kind of like, I don't know what specifically we should target. I feel like probably the biggest thing to talk about probably, I know me and Gio have discussed this a little bit just by ourselves, but like, how are you finding the whole like being locked at home doing your course? Like, how is your mental health like being like, not like, if you don't want to talk about it specifically, then fair enough, but like especially with because I remember yous both have separately told me that yous two have like private tutors that you can talk through your stuff with, and that's not something that we get at our uni. So I was just wondering like how you feel like with that, so like just in general, you know, like with being stuck.
Yeah, so for me it's a bit weird because obviously I was living at university accommodation and then I had to go back home. So before I went to university, I was in that room there, which was my old room, and then when I moved to university, my brother took my room, and all my stuff got moved into my brother's room, which is literally a box that I could probably, and not even joking, like touch both walls. Like, so that's like the wall there, and then that's that.
I don't know how she went to do it. It's just a mile away.
Brilliant.
She's so far away from the other wall.
It's like, I'm sure though, but like it's such a tiny space. So it's literally like I wake up in my bed, I then take my laptop from the bookshelf, make my bed, put it on the bed. That's my workspace. Then I finish uni for the day, turn off the laptop, put it down there, and then get into bed. And that's like every day. Compared to university, I had like the desks were huge, and we were probably back up here. Desks are like probably the length of the bed.
Jesus.
Oh, easily.
How big are these books that you're writing in, man? They're like this.
Also, as well, because of that, and obviously doing an English degree, the main thing I do is read books. And so I moved home during the November lockdown. So I just took my books from November to the end of the winter term. And then when it was like December, I was like, I'm not going back. So I just took the books until like mid-February sort of time. So
now, you just chose to not go back?
No, because I was like, okay, I'm going to go back after Christmas because lockdown ends on this day. We then finish uni like a week later. There's no point of going back for a week. So I get to that point, and then I agreed to meet my mate as well. because I needed to speak to my friend because we're moving in next year together. And she's from Northampton anyway, so I met with her. Again, I just said the place.
Again, twice.
It's fine. You
know what? Instead of beeping it out, we'll just keep a tally somewhere.
Yeah, let's just edit in a tally for how many times.
That's a better idea. You can do that one. I'm doing the other video. Look.
So when I met with her, I took the books that I needed until the week just gone, because I was like, no way are we going to be staying at home like after like the first week of February. No way in hell. Oh, how I'm wrong. And I now have no books at home with me whatsoever. And so it's like, I don't want to travel back because I don't want to break lockdown. But then at the same time, books are expensive. I think for this year alone, I spent £400 on books. And that's why, second hand.
What?
Looking across different websites, whether that be Amazon, Wordery,
do the uni not provide them?
No.
Well, the library does have a certain amount of books.
But
Yeah, but I mean, like,
it's
if
not
you
like
can't
they have
get to the
like
library.
40 copies of like every book that you study. So
£400.
Well, the average cost of a book is probably what, 10 quid? Thinking that per week we probably read about 6 texts. Like,
That
you do
is
the math.
insane.
Wow.
I couldn't even do that in 2 years.
You know what I'm saying?
Mate,
A-level English is like...
I didn't even finish reading my A-level texts.
It's full text. Just,
I don't finish
get through
them.
them at your own pace.
So no, because like every week, so for my genre module, it's a different text every week. So that can be anything from, so we did like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy one week, and then the next week we were doing like some Greek play, and then like the week after that we were doing like a tiny short story. And
Obviously
then
learned a lot from that one, innit?
like,
Some Greek play.
I think
that was a skim read.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I should probably actually know as soon as I wrote my first assignment on it, and I got like a B+.
Yeah, this is right. This is a thing with Meg that I have learned, right? But with Meg in English, right? Meg can put in the least work known to man and somehow still got higher grades than me. It's a joke.
That was like me, to be fair.
For my Shakespeare
English,
presentation, I spent like probably 3 hours on it, and I got an A-, which is the
I'd
highest
sit and
that
talk.
my lecturer awarded for the whole year.
We love to see it. We love to
the
see it.
flex from Meg.
I was like, yeah, he puts it in this way. But that's the thing with me though, is when I work, and this is also to do with lockdown as well, I think in part, you know me, with deadlines,
Oh, you're horrendous.
I push them back, I push them back until I can't do it anymore. But in certain circumstances, when I have 2 or 3 deadlines on the same day, I therefore have to prioritize which ones to hand in. And that's therefore led to me handing in things late and the grades being capped. So, for example, the same day that Shakespeare one was due in, I also had a creative writing one. And I'd say that I'm not a big fan of creative writing, but I know I write well. And so for the first term, first assignment, so we have like two or three assignments for each module. For the first one, it was write a short story and write a narrative. Both of them have to be 750 words. And the whole time I was like, how am I meant to write creatively when I'm not feeling creative, etc. And I was like, anyway, the next one I've got to write poetry and I've got to write a play. Like, these are the 2 things that I've been writing since I was like so young. I'll be able to pull out a high grade on that. So I let that be capped. But then I got back my results. So my lecturer was like, yeah, it's such a shame that you had to be capped at a D- because that was like a A-, a like solid A effort. Like,
yeah, actually on this, right?
See, I'm the complete opposite to that.
You go first.
Sorry,
yeah.
like I am so. We get told about an assignment and I've done it already. I'm like, yeah, man, I knew about this 3 weeks ago. Done it. It's done.
Yeah.
Redone it
like,
4
for our
times.
Current module, right? It's not due in until like mid-April. Gio's already got like 2-3 pieces of it done.
I've got no. I've got my first draft of one of them done, and I've got everything else planned out for one module. We've got 3 modules.
I don't even.
This is another thing, man. The modules, like, I don't know about your guys' modules, right? but ours haven't been altered for online at all. So, for example, me,
Ours haven't.
I don't know how it works at other unis, but we have these things called advantage modules. Is that like a all uni thing, or does everyone call them different
I
things?
don't know.
Like, the people
I
I
think it's
worked
just
with
our
told
uni
me
thing.
about them. And they're like,
Oh,
oh,
okay.
yeah, I'm doing like an advantage module in like Italian. And I'm like, what the fuck? How do you manage with that on top of your
Fanno
uni
bene,
stuff?
italiano è la lingua più bella. But yeah, so like we do these things called advantage modules. You have to do one to pass like first year, apparently.
Yeah, so it's
what
like
they
it gives
told
you
me.
10 extra credits as long as you pass it, and you need those 10 extra. So even if you pass all of your modules from like whatever subject you're doing, you still need that extra 10 to get past the pass mark.
It's ridiculous. But I took film editing thinking, film editing, that would be sick. Yeah, so cool. No offense to the film editing guy, by the way, if you're watching this, but he's so boring. He's so boring. I've not learned anything from him. And then on top
Of all the
this,
things to say, just no offense,
nah, but
he's boring.
He seems lovely. He's got a dog. You know what I'm saying? I love dogs, but he's like very monotonous when he's speaking. And then he goes, "Oh, the final assessment for this is you're gonna have to produce a short film, but don't worry too much about that." And I'm thinking, how are we meant to produce a short film when we're in lockdown? Like, I can't even go outside. What are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Just do most essential stuff, mate. That's what you've got to
mate.
do. You've got to do a most like autonomous thing. You've got to go all Beckett. You've got to go all Sartre on that shit.
Don't know who Beckett or Sartre is,
You
but
don't know who
I'll look
Beckett
into it.
is.
Disgrace.
Have you lived on the
We
Disgrace.
did
rock?
this game. I was waffling for like the whole lecture.
Who's
My
Beckett?
lecturer-
Samuel Beckett is one of the
Samuel
greatest
Beckett.
playwriters of all time. He's incredible.
Waiting
Seriously,
for Godot.
it's
One of the
beautiful.
best plays.
It is
Waiting
beautiful.
for Godot. Two men by a tree, waiting for Godot, and Godot never turns
It's the
up.
greatest existential
you can tell
piece of
that
literature
these
ever.
lot are all English, and I'm not. You can just
Oh, genuinely, mate.
It's because of
I
James
honestly
Stacey.
say you need
It's
to
because of
watch it.
James Stacey. That's the
Yeah,
only
it is.
reason. What Mr. Stacey?
Yeah, James
But I
Stacey was the
think-
greatest greatest teacher
Yeah.
ever. Like it got that bad. Like Gio, just for context, right? Me and Will did a drama exam together where we got to choose any play we wanted. We chose a Samuel Beckett play because we learned Waiting for Godot in our English
Yeah.
in our English lessons.
Oh,
We were
really?
like, that's how
Oh,
good
but-
it is. It's beautiful.
We
Then
were
we
going to do
studied
Waiting for
Endgame.
Godot, but then like the year above us had done Waiting for Godot, and our teacher was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's boring. Do a different one." And we're like,
Yes.
But when we studied Endgame for my degree, I was sat there and I was just like spewing all the stuff I knew from Miss Stacey, and then we had to watch a production of Endgame, and the whole way
Was it our,
through, I
was it
was
our
watching
production?
it. No, I was like, because they would have been to go to this better. I want to see like them like doing cloth and hand justice. Like I don't want Dumbledore and Lupin. I want this.
He's not saying Endgame. All I'm hearing is Avengers. Like
Fair.
that's
So
all
did
I'm
we.
hearing.
That's the reason we picked it.
To be completely
Yeah.
honest with you, like I
We
don't know what
picked it
this
'cause
is.
it was
I'm
called
just
Endgame,
hearing Tony
right?
Stark. I am Iron Man. You know, I was spoilers for.
Did you know?
for
Fun fact: Endgame actually comes from the point in chess, but the French, because obviously it was written in French first. The French version was actually something more like like end point or something. But in order
in
to
French they say
translate,
Endgame.
Avengers Endgame.
Endgame. You know what I'm saying? That's how they say
but
it.
in order to translate it, they decided to use
Back home we say Avengers
chess
the end the
terminology.
game. Say
So
that
for
again. They
all
use what
British
technology?
people know chess. We are not Beth Harmon. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Is that from that show?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I need to watch that because everyone's saying it's really, really good.
I watched
you know what?
it in one day.
That's another thing that I've clocked with uni, right? Is I've watched so many shows, like not even during lectures, just like after like a 5-hour lecture, right? So
You guys have 5-hour
My-
lectures.
Yeah, on
Yes.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Every Thursday.
Why
We
not all
start
2
at
hours?
we start at 10. Wait, is it 10 or 11?
it's 10.
It's 10. We
We
go
start
for
at 10
2
and finish at
hours,
4.
have a gap between 12 and 1, and then go from 1
Oh.
till 4.
See, we have
It's so hard.
2-hour ones. So all ours are 2 hours, but I only have 2. I used to have just one day I had 2 lectures. Now it's 2 days I have 2 lectures. And the rest only
thing
have like
is-
1 lecture.
The reason our lectures, right, are this length of time, right? So you're going, why do you have 5-hour lectures? is because
We genuinely
usually
need it.
we would probably do 2 hours of like talking and theory, and then the next couple of hours you'd have your break, go and get your food, go Mackey's. Yeah, that used to be like tradition.
It actually
And
was.
then-
We got like a group of 6 of us. Every time there was a lunch, it was straight to Mackey's.
Perfection.
Nice.
But yeah, and then you'd have like the 2-3 hour amount of time to do the actual practical work, where it's like you're writing articles, which I know is like, you don't think of it as practical work, but trust me, it is. Writing articles, doing the TV stuff, learning how to use editing software, whatever. And that's why they're that long. But online, it just doesn't work like that, because it's
I think
all theory. There's very little.
Our first term was so much easier because we were doing written work. Like, it was just sitting at our laptop writing. That was something we could do anywhere.
Definitely.
So it was so much easier.
Definitely.
But now we're getting onto the stuff where it is like you said, learning how to use an auto cue, like learning, like there's our uni is so awesome with the tech it has. Like, it has an entire control center at the back where you can basically prepare everything you want for a news broadcast. And instead we're learning on Adobe Premiere Pro rather than actually using the industry standard tech because we can't get in. And it's just, it's
Premiere Pro
not
is great
fault.
though.
Yeah, Premiere Pro
I
is
really
great.
like Premiere
I'm
Pro.
sorry,
The other
if you're
day,
doing
right?
a like creative practical course, ignore the child next door screaming their head off. If you're doing a practical course, you need that studio space in order to learn.
That's why I feel so sorry for Will. Like,
Yeah.
the horror stories I've heard of you doing, like, performances over Zoom, like, it's just it hurts my soul.
Just how it really
Go on,
is.
tell us a
how,
horror
like,
story. I want to
there's-
hear this.
The
Okay,
original one
so
you told me. Do
we're
that
gonna
one,
go
the original
with
one you told me.
the first week, right? We're set at the beginning of the week. We're told on Friday we're going to do performances. This is your first performance. It's going to be terrible, but the whole acting course, like the second years and third years, they're going to be there. They're going to be watching you, and they're all going to love you, whatever you do, because they've had to go through the same thing.
Yeah.
We create our piece. I think it's going pretty well. We've essentially got 2 policemen like interviewing a bunch of uni students for something, and the idea is that they're going to pin it on one of those uni students.
I've heard this story from
say-
people.
Because they're trying to shut down the uni. We create the piece. I'm really proud of it. We start watching the other people's pieces. I'm sort of in my head going, these are all terrible. Our one is going to look so good compared to all of this.
I didn't know this. This is where it gets too cocky.
I was a savage.
Karma is a bitch. We start the piece, and the guys who are playing the policeman, their mic isn't working. We're like trying to tell them subtly, your mic isn't working, we can't hear you, but they're not picking up our hints. So we're just lip reading them and like giving our replies and trying to sort of give the story in, but it just completely
To be
falls.
fair, that's
flat on its
karma.
face.
I didn't know about you coming in.
downstairs.
That's karma.
Bro,
I remember going
I
downstairs
would
after my
die.
lecture, and because obviously I live with the 2 guys that are playing the policemen, and one of them was just like head and hands. I was like, "Are you okay?" And they're like, "Just what's it?" We're like he paid like I think before uni about 3-4 grand for a MacBook Pro. He only had it for like a few weeks, and the mic was broken.
What kind of Mac is he buying that it's $4 grand?
I know,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Bloody hell.
I swear Macs top out at like 2.5.
I
That's
don't
not
know
a
how
MacBook
much.
Pro, that's an iMac.
Yeah, he got a full on iMac.
He's like, oh, I thought it was a laptop. I didn't realize it was a desktop PC. Shit. Bro, if I paid $4 grand for a MacBook, I'd want it to like
I would be fuming.
be made of solid gold.
Yeah.
I was probably
God.
over exaggerating a bit on the price.
Oh, okay.
Can you stop
That suddenly
screaming?
makes it not as.
To be
Not
fair,
good.
we only heard him once, Meg. We can't hear him now. Like, there was literally the time when you said excuse the kitchen. That was the one time you could just hear it. We haven't heard it since. So
So
nothing to worry
24/7,
about.
just screaming like a pterodactyl. Like, no, thank you. I just want to be left alone.
Took me a moment to clock what a pterodactyl was then, and then I remembered it's a dinosaur.
Disappointed.
I know shit. Come on. Genius.
Will, you're getting cocky again. Your mic's gonna go.
Bro, listen here, yeah. Listen here, yeah. See, you know what we should do? You know what we should do, Finton? On his bit where he's explaining that story,
Mute him.
his audio. That's what we'll do. We'll just completely mute his audio, and then we'll see. Then we'll see who's laughing. Then we'll see. But nah, we won't do that. What other things, man? Like I don't really know. Like I was enjoying uni, and then I was a bit like, no, I'm not in my second year now. But
I think
not in my second year, in my second term.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it in my head. I'm just like, with lockdown and everything, I'm just like, it sucks, but it is what it is. Like,
I think a large part of it is down to lockdown. That's the thing, is because we're in this like shit situation.
Just don't say that word. We can't say that one word. We can say lockdown. We can't say the other words.
That one thing. We'll just call it situation.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Refer to it only as the circumstances, people. Otherwise, we get demonetized. Just.
You need that coin.
You're making money off
we don't get paid off this. Anyway.
No, but if this video blows up, all right.
Just in case. But yeah, man. Like it is really hard. Like I wouldn't say, like, you were on about earlier mental health. Like I wouldn't say like I've deteriorated mentally or anything like that. But also like, I don't know, I've been pretty lucky in the sense, like I'm, like people can probably tell from watching, or if you know me in real life, like I'm quite an extroverted person. Like, and luckily, like I met my girlfriend at the beginning of the first lockdown. So like, I've always had that human interaction. I'm close to my family. So like me and my family are always talking. I'm really close. I've got some really, really close friends, like really good friends that like we call most days. Yeah. Like Finton's definitely one of them. Like me and Finton genuinely speak daily. Like we don't necessarily message you for like, how are you feeling today, bro? You know what I mean? It's not like that, but there's always that sort of communication. Like
there is Gio with some random idea that will just be like, he'll just randomly like, he'll watch a TV show. He'll just have a random, like today we've had a random conversation about whether DC or Marvel's better, just out of nowhere, just because.
Marvel.
No, DC.
Facts. Nah, they're both beautiful.
They're both really good, but DC do better character development.
Oh yeah,
they do better
development, but in terms of like managing the business, then it goes to Marvel.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely, because DC have ruined films. Like
we're turning it. Although I know this ain't a movie podcast today, but
when the Snyder Cut comes out, we do have to do an episode about that. And Will, we need to get you in on that because you are as big as the.
Oh, definitely.
We need to get you in.
Also, I haven't watched Joss Whedon's Justice League, and I don't plan to. So I'm just coming in with fresh eyes.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That would be a nice perspective, actually. But yeah.
Do you know what I actually rewatched a while ago because it came onto Netflix, right? Again, I know it's not a movie podcast, but just briefly, I need to get off my chest.
Let us tangent.
I rewatched Batman versus Superman, right? Because I thought, there's no way it's as bad as I thought it was when I first watched it. There's no way. Like, my mind has definitely been corrupted by other people's opinions. Watched it and I was like, nah, yeah, this is shit. The best part of it
is when
Wonder Woman comes in at the end and it's like, that bit.
Will's got a point. Will's got a point. When he does that, he's got something.
You're watching the theatrical cut. Get the Blu-ray. First of all, just always get a Blu-ray. Second of all, get the Blu-ray because you've got Zack Snyder's extra half an hour of Batman v Superman. It fleshes out a lot of the different problems. So the whole problem of
did Zack Snyder direct Batman v Superman?
Yes.
I'm worried about Justice League now. Okay, I'm worried about Justice League. Look, I was looking forward to Justice League, but now I know that that's what he can do. I'm like, I didn't
know he directed Batman v. Do you know what though? I actually really liked Batman in that movie. Like, I thought Batman was really cool, and Batfleck gets unnecessary hate because he's like a really fucking cool Batman.
See, I've never been into DC as much. I'd say the limit to my DC was probably when I studied the Vendetta as one of my first texts and my degree.
I think if you're just a movie fan, you get screwed over like in DC because so many DC films are bad.
Really crap cartoons is the case, but not like the good Batman one, like the one that was like mini Batman and like mini Robin.
Oh, like Teen Titans Go and stuff like that.
Not even Teen Titans, like worse than that.
To be fair, if you're gonna watch a DC TV show, there are a few things you have to watch. First season of The Flash. Fact. Don't watch the rest. Just season one. Just season one. Batman the Animated Series.
Season 1 only.
Batman the Animated Series just goes
Batman
without
Beyond,
saying.
beautiful.
Yes, Batman Beyond's good.
Yeah, but just solely watch Batman the Animated Series for the fact that it's the first time Mark Hamill voices the Joker.
I was going to say, didn't Mark Hamill voice the Joker?
It's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
One of the most underrated Batman movies ever is that one, like Ghost of the Phantasm. I can't remember what it's called. It's an animated movie.
Oh yeah,
Mask of the Phantasm.
that is really good.
Mwah. Chef's
It is
kiss.
so good.
So good.
To, though,
Beautiful.
Rob Pattinson's Batman, because
That
he was
trailer.
Edward Cullen. He was a shit show, but his more recent stuff, like if you watch The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe.
Oh, The Lighthouse has Robert Pattinson in it as well. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Like the Green Goblin and Edward Cullen does not seem like unlikely fit, but it works just so well.
It is really good.
And
I love
that
how this has
is
just turned
like-
into a movie podcast.
And
It's gone from
like
uni's
Batman.
boring.
Robert Pattinson's Batman might be an R rating in America, which means
I
that
really hope it
it'll
is.
quite possibly be 15 over here.
Like
and
just
that would be
considering that they've shot 20% of the movie and they still had that bit where it's just Batman just relentlessly punching the dude in the face. I'm like, if this is not what the entire movie is like, I'm going to be, because that genuinely, it's just the fact he's like, I am vengeance.
Well, at the end of
Like, it
the
just
day,
didn't
DC
stop.
obviously have. At the end of the day, DC obviously have the success of the Joker, and they knew that audiences loved that. So therefore, surely they want to go for the same approach.
I've really hurt my hand, by the way.
I
My
heard,
hand
I
really
heard
hurts
that the
now.
villain is potentially the Riddler in this.
There's
Pattinson
Riddler,
movie.
there's
I'd like to
Penguin,
see
there's
that.
Catwoman, there's loads.
Yeah, they've got
There's
quite-
rumors
to
of
stop.
Jokers in it.
We need to stop with this trend of putting 15 different villains in movies. Have you watched?
No, but
The
to be
Amazing
fair
Spider-Man
though,
2?
right, it
It did not go well. With
I like
Right.
the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I will defend this
to my death. That is a
good movie.
Me and
Listen,
Vincent,
even-
we like Amazing Spider-Man.
The original
It's a
Spider-Man
shit movie.
trilogy is better though.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry,
obviously.
Andrew Garfield was just too old to play. Like
No, he
when
wasn't.
Tobey Maguire did
He
it, it was
wasn't too old.
He wasn't
I'm
too
pretty
old.
sure
Isn't
Tobey
it?
Maguire was older than Andrew
Tobey
Garfield.
Maguire was like
yeah,
30
but Tobey
when
Maguire
he
was
played
campy.
Spidey.
Andrew Garfield took himself too seriously as he had his like Sony laptop, and he was like typing and.
No,
I quite like
liked
the fact that
Andrew
they
Garfield
took
as Spider-Man.
Andrew
I
Garfield
did like
seriously.
him. I liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I just think the writing of that movie is awful.
Yeah,
and
it was the right.
Yeah, but
was the issue rather.
we
than
won't.
Andrew.
We'll steer away from that
We
now
need to get
because
you two back on.
we've
for a
gone
movie
deep
podcast.
into the loophole of Marvel, but
We need to get you two back on
Or the-
for
Right,
the-
uni,
the rabbit hole.
uni.
yeah.
Uni.
Back to you.
Back to you.
Do you guys have anything more to say? Like anything more you
we
want
may
to
as well,
share?
'cause,
Like
you said your friend was asking, do you think uni's worth it? I mean, we may as well just go around and see if like generally.
yeah,
like, you wanna
definitely.
go
We
to
can
anything
we can
specific.
answer that in detail.
Like, let's start with you because we always go back. We go Meg first, so this time go the other way around.
Go
Well,
first, yes.
do
Equality.
you think that uni's been worth it?
It's a strange question because in some cases yes, and in some cases no. I think if
Right, do a pro and con list. Get a yellow legal pad. You don't know. You haven't watched How I Met Your Mother, so you don't get the reference.
I'm sorry, it's on my to-do list.
Basically, for anyone watching that doesn't know this, I've been trying to get Will to watch How I Met Your Mother for at least 4 years at this point, and he's just not.
Yeah.
It's a running thing that I will
I've
make
enjoyed
references.
every bit of How I Met Your Mother that I have seen, but I've just never committed to watching all 11 series.
9.
9.
It's so good.
It's incredible.
I will watch it.
So good. Please commit.
Yes, sir.
You can commit to a girlfriend. You can commit to How I Met Your Mother. Simple. That's how
All
it goes. Gio's
Okay.
face.
That's one way of looking at it.
I've had too much caffeine. All right, I've got a bit too hyper.
Too many Pepsi Max.
The vibe is just too good today.
Back to the question of university, is it worth it or not? I think for me, I definitely needed university as a way of like getting out of the house and getting a bit of independence, and having that coming home, I could definitely see that I've grown a bit. So if you want to go to uni for that sort of independence experience, yes, I think it's probably worth it. If you're there for the social life, that's
Non-existent.
you took an L. You
That's
completely
done.
took an L by going for the
Don't go to
social.
illegal house parties, kids. Please don't.
And then for the actual like education that you're getting, it's probably a very university by university experience, because my like acting course have put in a lot of effort to like get us some sort of education, which has worked better in some areas than others. And at the moment, when we've literally got 3 things going on, it's absolutely boring as hell. But last term, when we were doing stuff, it was a lot more engaging and into it. So I think yes, but no.
Yeah, I think it will depend on what you're going there for. Like I think one of the things I struggled with most is like Gio, like Meg and Gio have both already said, is like doing everything in your room. I'm like literally behind a green screen, like 2 steps is my bed. Like that's as far as I move in a day, because
literally like
it honestly is, because like my brother does his uni downstairs on the table in the bedroom. So like it is literally not bedroom in the dining room. It is literally just 2 steps.
I was about to show you my room, and then I realized that it's
dirty as hell. Yeah, that's exactly. I was thinking, do I pull the green screen down? Then I was like, nope, not a good idea.
My room is clean. There's just like clothing. The bed ain't made, but yeah, Finton, you finish, and then we'll go to Meg, and then I'll give a definitive answer on the.
So just disregard all 3 of our opinions. Be like, nah, Gio's isn't definitive.
No, my definitive answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say it's worth it because I feel like. Sorry, what were you going to say, Meg?
I was going to say opinions are subjective, guys.
That's very true. That is very true.
Apart from mine is factual.
Yeah. We all must respect Gio's correct opinions.
If you don't, exactly. You're simply just racist towards Italians. So you take that over how you want to.
Bro,
completely up to you how we move on from this.
Right, swiftly moving on. We can't even edit that out because our entire thing is that it's uncut. Jesus Christ. I want to say it is worth it for me because I think I needed something to do. Like with having that, like what was it, March last year? Oh, it's gonna be mad that my birthday's gonna still be in lockdown. But like with that,
your birthday last year just escaped.
Yeah, literally 3 days between me having a birthday party and lockdown. That was how close it was. I didn't, but yeah, I think with that whole 6 months of like exams being cancelled and just being stuck in the house, I think I needed uni to give me something to do. But I've got to the point now where I'm like, I am kind of bored of what I'm doing. Where it's like, I feel like the experience would have been better if I'd have left it a couple of years. But then it's the case of what would you have done for those years? Like when you literally will be stuck at home with nothing to do. Like as much as uni is. It's not the best at the minute, but that can't be helped. Like every uni is trying as hard as they possibly can. It's just the situation as it is. But I felt like without doing like it is worth it to me because without doing it, I wouldn't have had something to do. And I'm very much a routine kind of person. Like I have like alarms set to when to get up and stuff every day, even today when I don't have uni. It's like I needed that routine back. Same. So I think it was worth it for me. I made friends with him, so. Like I think it was.
I'm obviously the highlights of his uni life.
To be fair, some days you are, mate. Some of the stuff you come out with is just like I thought Will was bad, and then you just somehow top it. It's incredible. Like Will makes gay comments, and then you get to Gio. It's like it's 2 different levels. Like
because I've got that European like swag.
He literally sent me a photo today and put underneath it pure sex. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. There was no other context.
Reference, the photo was a selfie. It wasn't nothing.
It was a selfie.
The photo was just a selfie.
I would like take photos of like food and say pure sex, but there's a difference between like
it's full on his face. Let me find the photo. Here we go.
I had a water bottle.
There's the photo, and right there it says pure sex.
I think I look really good in that. I think I do look really good in that.
To be fair, I did first reply saucy, so like I'm as bad as anything.
You know, what else could I do? You know what I'm saying? Like I was very limited in my responses, but yeah, let's go to Meg. So Meg, do you feel like it's been worth it? Do you feel like for example, year 13s go in and maybe potentially going into uni this year, should they bother?
So I think my perspective is a bit different because before the whole situation, I was actually considering going on a gap year and either traveling, living with family in Australia or can I just say they are lucky pieces of crap.
Australia, good day, mate.
Oh, God,
That
no.
accent is too good. You shouldn't be able to just switch that on like that. Will, you're doing the acting
Daddy,
course. Where's
brilliant.
yours?
You great Galar.
Oh man.
So
Anyway,
proud of that.
sorry.
Anyway, carry
Anyway,
on.
I was considering either going to live with family over there, or just like continuing to work. And then I say it was like two weeks before the whole situation arose, I was like, actually, I'm not going to, and I found my place. And then literally when the lockdown came, I was like, did I make the right decision? And I was thinking to myself, what I concluded with is at the end of the day, how you've got to see it is your chances of getting a good grade on graduation, although you don't have the same equipment, because of the statistics of students in university at the moment compared to what they normally are, there's a lot less people in education. So therefore, not only do you have a greater chance of getting into the university that you want, because not as many people are applying, because for example, this year, so our year, not many people went, whereas next year, if things are back to normal, not only will you have the current year 13s, you'll also have people from our year that decided to go on a gap year because of the situation, and you'll also have people in the year above us. So Gio's year also going in and deciding to go to university as well. So therefore,
I'm in the same year.
It's the same year as us.
Yeah.
We all the same year. I know I look
you were a year
37,
older
but
for
I'm
some
not.
reason. So
No,
basically,
It's the
you've
facial
essentially
hair.
got 3 different years all going into university, plus mature students.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very big class size. That's going to be a very big intake. Therefore, your voice is not going to be heard. And it's going to be hard to get into courses. Whereas this year, coming up, there's not going to be a lot of people probably going in.
Yeah, I think I do
so
feel bad for the people.
And
that
then
took
when
gap
it comes
years.
to graduation, there's going to be a lot less people applying for jobs that you want. Because I think for all of the career sectors that we're thinking of going into, they're very competitive. So therefore, if you think you've got 3 different exam cohorts going for a job at one time, compared to 1, maybe 2 at one time in very small numbers, it's going to be slightly less competitive.
I
So
agree
that
with what
is
you're
one
saying, but it
way you've
really
got to
does depend on what it is you want to do in life. Like,
Oh God, yeah.
for example, if you want to do something practical, like for like I know a few people that are at uni studying engineering, right? I'd say if you get a job offer, I don't know anything about engineering, but let's say you get like an apprenticeship to go and like do
Oh
the
God,
job.
yeah, then do that. But like, if
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
for me, for example, I'm thinking of going
There you
to
go.
publishing, journalism, or marketing. So those 3, you need a degree, otherwise you're screwed.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing you've got to think of is your placement in the job market. How will it affect you if you don't have a degree, if you do have a degree? If that makes
On the
sense.
subject of jobs, there are 2 ways I've been thinking about, right? You've just reminded me because you've been talking about like when we get to getting jobs. Is I think the people that are currently in uni, like, yeah, well, we'll get to you in a minute, all right? We'll get to you. I'm the one hosting this, all right? I get to talk when I want. No, but on the subject of like there's either going to be 2 things that happen. It's either stuff is going to be back to normal by the time we all graduate, and companies will be looking to hire more people because they let so many off like during the pandemic. So us getting a job is going to be a lot easier because we stayed in university rather than deferring or taking a gap year. Or this is still going to be happening, and we're going to be absolutely screwed. Is like the 2. I'm like,
It's just
we
so
won't
hard
know.
to know.
But
We've got 2.5 years to hide in education at the moment, so a lot can happen. Like, am I allowed to mention vaccines? The vaccination.
Yes, mate. Say whatever.
Just not the word, but just not what the word of what the vaccine is.
Not
that
the
word.
C word.
Yeah,
Okay.
not the C word.
Yeah,
that's the
say the
word
C
you can't
word.
mention.
Lovely. With the whole vaccine thing that's supposedly going to be done this year, that's going to radically change what 2022 looks like. Possibly.
Yeah, but even then, it's not going to be
That's what
like
the government's saying, though.
Yeah, but this is the thing: is that's only going to apply in the UK. Like,
if you go to anywhere else,
exactly. There'll be so many other countries that don't have the same vaccination program as we do, so we could go
Like,
there
for me,
vaccinated.
I forget that.
My plan originally was I was going to do the first 2 years and then do like a placement in Italy. I was going to go do like like a year in Italy, and like study there. I thought that would be sick, blah blah blah. But then now, first of all, Brexit has just like destroyed. Like, I'm an Italian citizen, I think legally because I was born there and stuff, but I still need to. Well, yeah, I still need to like get like I think you still need a visa or something to go there. I'm not really too sure on how it works, but yeah. So, and that's in my case. Like I say, I'm a citizen, so I might be able to get in there easier. But if you were thinking, oh yeah, I'll do a year abroad, fucked. Like that's probably not going to happen now because of Brexit. Like it's destroyed your chances basically. And then COVID itself, like you guys were just saying,
Mate, you said it. You said the word.
Oh well, demonetization. We move. We'll just beep it out.
Leo, come on! We got those two to do it. What? And you failed us.
I know. But no sense out uncut. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about the money. We're here for the people. But no, we are. But I mean,
to be fair, one of the people is currently on it that's subscribed. So
we literally do this for fun. Like it's a passion project. But yeah, because of the situation, like. Literally everything, like these guys were just saying, right? So the UK has this specific vaccine thing. They want to get the country vaccinated. Beautiful, great. How do we know that Russia, let's say you want to go uni in Russia, how do we know they're going to do the same thing? How do we know that, I don't know, Italy is even going to do the same? We just don't know what the rest of the world is doing. And until we know, don't make plans of going abroad, like for uni. Just don't bother because it's useless. If you're thinking of uni, go in the UK. Even then, you're going to be paying $9,000 plus to go to uni.
For an open university degree.
Yeah, that's true. That wouldn't actually be a bad idea with everything, like because we're doing it all online anyway. And open uni is online, so that's probably actually a decent idea.
I think that's like
I've got a really good friend that's doing an open uni course.
That's actually probably the best idea to do. Is do open uni.
Because I think even now, in our year. If we were to do level 5 and level 6, so our second and third year, we could technically stop at our university because first year it's just for the credits that they know you pass, and then you can even like exchange to open uni if you want to. But then obviously you've got to weigh up the things of that. So for example, you don't get a student union with the open university. You won't get the same amount of student finance. And you probably won't. You'll probably be given part-time student status instead of full-time student status, and there's loads of legalities around that as well.
I just want to say, right, I'm weird. So when I was,
we're aware.
When I was looking into going to uni, I actually didn't care about the social part. Like I'm not a person like I don't really care for going out loads, drinking. Like I don't get a lot of enjoyment out of drinking unless it's in like a very small group of like people I'm like really good friends with. Like I'm not one for clubbing and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. So if you don't particularly care about that side of it, you might enjoy uni more now, depending on your course, because it's so much more focused. It's like there is literally no distraction because it's 9 times out of 10, your course is going to be you log on to Zoom, Teams, whatever you're using. Everyone got their cameras off, nobody's speaking, and your lecturer will talk at you for 2 or 3 hours. You'll take your notes, you'll get given your work, you go and do your work. There's literally nothing else to do. There is so little distraction. And if you are one of those people that just needs that focus, you could start a podcast and ignore uni work. I think
we're very good at now. We're very good at this now. We just ignore uni.
I don't recommend. The reason I don't recommend is because we're doing it. Be original. But yeah, no, I'm joking. But there's a lot more focus now, like definitely. And I have found that does help me because I'm a person like if I've got an assignment or if I need to see a friend, I'm very much like, I mean, we don't live forever. You know what I'm saying? I should probably go and have this fun experience with my friend rather than, so if you are one of those people that does struggle with like time management, you got all the time in the world to do uni. Just do it. You might as well. But depending on your course, like if you want to do something like journalism, from personal experience, don't bother. It's so much harder. You're getting so much less out of it. And our lecturers go on a lot about multimedia journalism. You're going to be trained as multimedia journalists, which basically means you can type and record videos and also write. That's all it really means, right?
I think the biggest issue is, like, especially specifically with doing a journalism course, is so many skills you learn face to face, like interview technique, learning how to read a teleprompter,
voice
like
training.
all this stuff. Yeah, voice training. It's all in-person stuff that you need to do, because then people can be like, right, this is where you're making a mistake. Whereas doing it over a camera, it's just like.
Or even skills like copywriting.
On the opposite side of. Sorry.
Even skills like. So obviously there are a few skills that go between English and journalism. So even stuff like copywriting and how to edit, it's so much easier to learn that stuff face to face, because you can literally have someone with a like print out of it. You sit face to face, both with a highlighter, and just highlight the bits that you both think and go over it and talk face to face. Yeah, Zoom's fine. But how the hell are you going to say, for example, I'm not too sure about this section? It's so much easier just to like hold up your piece of paper or just show them your computer screen compared to like, having to fiddle with all the tech.
It's also just a lot easier to put your hand up in person, because, like, rather than unmuting yourself like, on a Zoom call.
I notice myself doing this a lot, right? So in my little film editing lesson that I'm doing, right, a lot of the time I'm doing my own thing anyway, because Premiere Pro, like, because of the podcast and me and Finton doing YouTube videos and stuff, Finton was way better than me. And he was doing all of the editing, all of the exporting, all of that. And I felt bad. So I was like, nah, I need to learn. So I essentially began to like teach myself it. Obviously, Finton did definitely help me a lot. But yeah, so a lot of the time I kind of know what's going on and know what I'm doing. But let's say he did something in my lesson, right? The teacher, and I didn't know what he did. You kind of feel bad going, oh, can you just do that for me one more time? Because there's like 50 other people there who do know, and you're a bit like, oh, like, I don't want to be that guy, make him go over, because it's a 4-hour lecture anyway. So, you know, I don't want it to go over and I'm the person you know what I mean? Whereas in person, it's like, oh, so when you finished just explaining this, could you maybe come over and like just personally help me out for like 5 minutes? Just didn't really get what you were doing there. So like online uni is really bad for people who are self-conscious. Like I'm not self-conscious, but I still struggle with it.
Session, for example, like about an assignment, and you want to ask a personal question, how the hell, if it's a drop-in, like, everyone else is going to be in the room doing their stuff, but they're going to be across the side of the room. I feel like, yeah, so I've got this quite, I'm not sure if I can include it, because there's like this and this.
To be fair, I don't even think we've had drop-in sessions.
I think we have, but only like at the end of term.
Yeah, exactly. We've had one to talk through our coursework. That's it. Like, that's it. Other than that, we haven't had any to like just talk about general stuff or anything. It is literally just
to be
what
fair,
you need to improve
like,
on your work.
I do agree, but I do feel like the lecturers do make themselves quite available. Like, especially Lisa. Lisa's always saying like, oh, if you need anything, just please email me, let me know like what you need. And I think, and like her, like, I don't know about you guys, right? But my lecturer's feedback is like in detail. It's like, whoa, okay, I really understand where
it feels like personal attacks when you sit there, but you're like, no, she's just trying to make us better.
But that's the thing, like, that's the type of criticism that I invite, because I'm like, I'm not a perfectionist by any means, but I want to be the best at everything. Like, it's just like an ego thing. Like, I want to be good at things. So if you're going to tell me, oh, this was shit, this is how you make it better, sick, I'll take it happily.
Oh God, that's why I love the idea of the personal tutor system that we have as well, because you literally, if I have any issues, even if it's something as stupid as like, so the other day I was like, I was getting so much things and like, I need to come up with an action plan. Had a like personal tutor meeting with Claire over Zoom. She's got me in like, she's like, yeah, you might have a mental condition with deadlines. Here, talk to the counsellor. She's referring me to that. And then she's doing follow-up things. Or even if it's just like, hi, I think the subscription for this university service is finished, but I'm too scared myself to like contact the library team. Yeah, that's fine. Or if it's something even as stupid as like, because you all know that like when like you're in a lecture, you always have those lecturers that you prefer to talk to about stuff than other ones. But if you have an issue with ones that you don't get along with as well as your main one,
It's a good system. It's a good idea. I think maybe we should, like, not we, what the fuck am I on about, but more unis should introduce that method. Because, again, for me, like, sometimes I struggle to think of things from other people's perspectives because I am such an extrovert and I don't care. Like, I'm quite confident within myself that I'm just like, yeah, I'll just speak to the lecturer about it. It's not a problem. But like, I do know that a lot of people like just can't. Like, it's not that easy for them. So having that personal tutor for a lot of people would be like a massive help, because like you don't always want to talk, especially if it's like one specific lecturer, like you say, that maybe you don't like their teaching style. Like, you can't really go to them and say, I think your lectures are shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that. It's rude.
To be fair, you would, Gio.
Yeah, I would, but I'm like, I wouldn't be that rude about it. Come on now.
No, you just say it to me,
yeah,
and then be a very polite version to the lecturer themselves.
Like, listen, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really agree with the way that you said this because I just didn't like it. Whereas Sir Finton, I'd be like, the whole lecture was shit. I hate them. They are rubbish. I'm never going back. But to answer, we went on a massive tangent there, but to answer the question,
at least it was uni related this time.
Yeah, true. But yeah, is uni worth it in 2021? Not really, in my opinion. Like, there are some things that you are gaining from online, like we were just saying, with a personal tutor, things like that. But the cons far outweigh the pros, in my opinion. Like, especially if you want to do a really practical course, don't do it this year.
Will's face was just like,
yeah. Honestly, like, I'm just glad I'm not like a second year or third year who have already experienced a year with that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that is true. I'm like, especially my brother, because
how does your brother find it, Vincent?
Oh, he hates it.
But he's struggling.
Absolutely, because like their course, they don't have see ya.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Yeah, but they don't have like live lectures or anything, so it's all recorded stuff.
Oh god, that's law as well. That's like,
wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's difficult, which is why I'm glad that it happened when it did, because like, as much as it's bad for us, we didn't know what it was like normally.
Yeah.
I just want to say a little thing for sixth form students and like secondary school students as well, but mainly sixth form, because I experienced like COVID when I was still in sixth form, right? Sorry, I said it again, but it is what it is.
You've already done it now. Like, may as well go full.
Yeah, it's too late. We've lost all the money. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I know some people in sixth form who are still going. Like, and I was in sixth form when this began. Like I said, did you see that just flick up and hit me? And the teachers set ridiculous amounts of work. Like,
oh my, yeah.
My teacher was setting me like hours and hours worth of content. The lesson was usually like 2 hours. He was setting me like 4 hours worth of work. We were really lucky, and they were like, just don't bother, because we're just going to give you predicted grades anyway. I don't know how you guys predicted grades turned out. Mine turned out very, like, I was happy.
We'll get into
that. I was fine with mine.
All I'm going to say is thank God I had an unconditional.
Same.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Oh, I got
I mean,
abused.
me too, but I won't go into what I got, but I was happy with my grades. But
I'm more than happy to go into what I got, because I got screwed. It was hilarious.
Feel free, but I don't want to be one of them.
I was predicted. I think after our drama performance, I think my predicted went up to an A in drama, and then B in media. No, B in media. That was it. B in media. No, sorry, A in media, B in English, and B in drama because of our performance. I got BCC. That's how royally I got screwed.
I got
just like that's not bad though.
Yeah, I know, but when I see people like Will, Will didn't get Will got absolutely blessed.
I was fine.
Really? Same.
Yeah. Mine was because of my coursework, but mine was like down there. Let's be realistic.
Damn. Okay. I was like I said, I was happy with mine, but yeah, like if you are in sixth form and you are like really, really struggling, you're in secondary school, it applies as well, but sixth form students, like, I feel you, like, don't worry, you know what I mean? Like, and uni is not as bad as sixth form. That's what I'll say, like, from my experience.
Oh my God, yeah,
uni's
so
way
much
better
easier.
God,
because
yeah.
you pick that one thing that you're interested in. Like, I'm not like the most interested in journalism specifically, but I do find it interesting, and I'm learning a lot that I didn't know, and I find that interesting. So if you're worried about going to uni and you think it's going to be too much, it is a lot of work and it is hard, but you don't mind doing it as much because sixth form is awful compared to uni.
Yeah.
And teachers will say that to you. Like, I had teachers going to me, my A levels were so much harder than my degree, and I was like, shut the fuck up. No, it wasn't. They really
It
are.
really
Do you enjoy
is.
what you're doing at your degree?
If I'd taken my A level exams, right, I would have failed psychology. 100%. I would have got like a D or something, right? English, I would have got a higher grade in English. I deserved a better grade in English, but still got a good grade. And Italian, obviously, I would have passed Italian. Like,
Right, I'm sorry,
like,
Italian is
that's
cheating. That's
That's
straight up cheating.
I know it's cheating. I know
That's
it's
really
cheating,
bad.
but it's
Oh, man.
yo. I'm not gonna say no to a free A level, man. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, to
You know
be
what
fair,
I mean?
I think our course, like specifically like the courses that all four of us have taken, like Gio was saying, it's like you get interested because like even if you're not specifically interested in like the core part of the course, like journalism, acting, and English, there is so many things you can do with those degrees that even if there's a bit that doesn't interest you, there is going to be a bit where you are like, right, I'm going to get up and do like, I'm seriously looking forward to this lecture. Like there is parts of it that you will genuinely
Even
get
writing
motivated by.
essays, the questions are so broad that you can adapt them to exactly what you want to write it about. So,
Yeah.
for example, I had to do a essay on the Scarlet Letter, and I was like, I do not want to do this. I don't want to do this. Left it until the day before, and then I just had a brainwave, and I was looking up through Instagram to like random like feminist stuff, and it hit me, and I wrote like 2,000 words on how the Madonna Hall complex applies to the Scarlet Letter, and I enjoyed it so much because that's the thing as well, is even if you don't like what you've got to do, it's so academia is so broad that you can narrow things down to be exactly what you want it to be, as long as it kind of fits the question. And because you have niche interest, you're going to get higher grades for that compared to A level, where they're like, this is your set question, this is your set text, answer what you will, use some context.
The more I look back, the more A levels, like just the school system in general is just bomb. Like so many people don't learn by doing exams. Like they don't do well in exams. But they like that's the thing. Something I learned is like look at me doing coursework now. Like my first term of university, I got 2 firsts. When I said I've got B, C,
this is like a
weekly.
weekly.
The coffee, the Pepsi and the coffee, they're both here. This is the weekly thing.
That's it's like a weekly occurrence, and I'm happy with it. I'm okay.
It's
this
just
is
a
my
part of the
third
show.
coffee today. Number 3. I had 1 espresso, 1 of these, and then this
You're
is
as bad as Meg.
Bro, I'm worse.
I actually only had 1 double espresso, honey and oat milk today. But I did
when I went to, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm Italian. Don't know if I mentioned that, but when me and my dad went
four
back,
notices later, yeah, sure.
Oh,
we
that's what it was.
We went for my dad's 50th, right? And we drank like 4, I'd say between 5 a minimum to like 8 espressos every day. And then I was struggling to sleep at night, and I was like, oh, I don't understand. And then I was like, oh, this is why. this is why.
It's when I'm at work and it's all the Italians when they come in and they're like,
oh, now Meg's just straight up being racist. Just attacking Italians.
It's like a macchiato.
Macchiato.
Every
Macchiato,
time.
man. British motherfuckers don't know how to say it. But on the subject of what we were just saying about uni being broader, it really is. It's so much more fun because like the other day, me and Finton got set this task, right? It was like, oh, here's a bunch of like stock footage of a car. And it was like just a bunch of car, a bunch of scenery. And this lady, right? I've forgotten her name. She is
Stephanie.
Best Steph. Oh my God. She's the best lecturer
Incredible.
I've ever had in my life. She's so lovely.
We also
so
think Gio
good
may
at
have
her
a crush
job.
on her, just FYI.
I don't. I really don't. I really, really don't. But she's just so good at her job. Like I love it when people are good at their jobs, man. And she explains something once, and that's all you need. You've got it. And she goes, "Oh, just take this footage, make it into a car chase." And like bear in mind, we all had the same footage. I sent Finton mine the other day.
To be
'cause
fair,
I
Gio,
was like,
should we edit in both of our different perspectives, the both different ones that we did?
we could do. I mean, mine ain't that good, to be honest. But
Yeah, neither's mine.
point
But
is,
it's like it shows.
it doesn't matter whether
get.
it's good or not. It was just really fun to do, and it was really interesting because I sent mine to Finton and he sent me his, and it's like, oh, we had the exact same material to work with, and we used the exact same software, and yet we both came out with like pretty different ideas as to how we would structure this car chase, and it was just really, really interesting. And like stuff like that makes uni so much better than any other thing ever. Like, it makes A levels look so shit, because you think when you get to A levels, you're like, wow, this is a lot more freeing than GCSE. No, it isn't. It's still restricted. You just don't realize it because it's more focused on those subjects. Sip tea.
I'm definitely very happy not to have timed essays anymore. I can spend a whole week on an essay. Because starting off, I know it'll be terrible when I start it, but by the end of the week, it'll be nice and polished.
We still have timed essays. But only at the end of the year. We just have one timed exam this year.
We don't have any exams. Actually, now we do, to be fair. This specific module we do, because we're doing a media law module. But other than that, like everything else that we just have coursework for. And it's so much nicer because I'm like you can start off working with something, and then as you learn new techniques each week, you can then change what you're doing, rather than it's here's everything and now here's the exam question. Like we know our briefs for our coursework before we learn any content. So like before then you can still like start getting your ideas.
Or you can just write it all the day before. It's up to you.
Yeah, that's the Meg technique. That's how
you can
been
do that if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, you still get B's, A's, and a D if you count it in late. But you know, it's all learning. First year.
I haven't made my flex. We've had Geo flex, we've had Will flex, we've had Meg flex. I don't have any. It's just
I didn't flex.
I record the podcast. That's my flex.
I didn't flex.
With your coffees, with your A levels.
I'm Italian.
Yeah, with the
I kept my
Italian.
A levels very quiet. I don't talk about my A level results because I know that the whole like.
I think I know some of them.
Like,
I don't know.
Yeah,
all of them, but I think I know a couple.
I can tell you if you want. I just didn't want to like.
Let's go for it. Let's get the full Geo flex out of the way.
A star BB.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna leave. I'm not smart enough for you, peasant.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough. I'm clearly a
I told
peasant.
you.
I'm not good enough at this.
Those were like, and the thing is, those were lowered as well. My English grade should have actually been. Actually, do you know what? I think my English grade should have been an A as well. But government.
It's genuinely bad to think that Gio could get an A when he sounds like a chav 24/7.
Fuck off.
And I got C. I'm doing the subject like at uni.
Yeah, you're the poshest human being ever, and you got C.
Nah.
I'm not posh.
Listen.
I'm literally like in Camden. Like...
Compared to us three when we talk,
I'm not posh.
it would go Meg, Will,
Definitely posh.
me, then Gio.
That is true. That is true. More time, to be fair. But
More time.
what do you
Meg,
yeah.
please don't. I don't want to have to bully you. I'm gonna clip that now, and I'm just gonna randomly show that to you. Right, Gio.
Well then.
We got anything else, or we're gonna wrap up here?
I was just about to say, I feel like we're ready to wrap up. Personally, like I feel like
Alright.
that's quite good.
So let's do
Now,
the
you
usual.
you guys got anything more?
Soon.
No?
Also, actually, no,
is that
ignore
right?
me.
Misha's down there. So.
Ignore me. I'm just gonna. I was
Right.
just gonna say.
Wait, just say the thing you're gonna say.
Because I don't know about different unis as well, but you also have to take into account like how the term is structured. So no university, as far as I know, gets half term, but the one that me and Will are at right now so I think it's every term you have a speciality week. So the first term it's normally like learning and development, so that you talk like how to write an essay or like how like to use the like referencing systems and whatever. But this week we are focusing on employability, so we get like loads of professionals like from different industries that relate to the degree, and they do like lectures to us and like talks like
That sounds so sick.
in like an hour. I've got a meeting with someone that works for a publishing house, and like they tell us about like the internships we can take, and like if he wants to do a master's, what masters will be like relevant, or like just like general.
Just for reference, very quickly, sorry to interrupt. That's how you can tell she's posh. She says masters. I would say masters. That is
I go
the
between
difference
the two though.
No, that's what all posh people say. Every posh person says, I'm not posh. I say
To be
grass,
fair,
not grass.
you should have seen Will when I originally met him. I've toned him down so much. It's so funny.
Really?
He was worse than Meg.
I was so posh. I was so
Little
posh.
Christian boy.
Like, you see me, I hold my glass, my bottle like this. I would have
used to
had
have the
pinky
pink.
finger out.
Oh,
I would have had
oh
it out.
God.
I mean,
Oh,
I
dear.
still do,
But-
but it's just for the bands now.
Yeah, it's ironically now.
But
It's
yeah,
because
sorry,
you know I'll take the mick out. Sorry.
I interrupted that point, but I wanted to say that is so good that they do that. Like, I don't know about mine and Finton's uni, but I'm pretty sure they don't do things like that, or at least not as part of the course. Maybe that's somewhere hidden away in
I
some
think
small print somewhere.
If we reach out, then we get help. But also,
Yeah, but-
our course, like on the subject of how it's structured, our uni ends so much earlier than others. We're done by the 9th of April
Yeah, man,
for
we
the
finish
year.
in April.
For the year, we're
in
done
April
on
for year
our
one.
last lecture is the 9th of April.
My last exam is like the 10th of May.
Yeah, I know. We finished because we don't have 3 terms, so we don't have the second break. We have 4 weeks at Christmas, and then that's it. We just go until the end of April.
Biggest perk of uni, student loan. If you have a job, right? I just want to say this: if you have a job, don't quit. Keep working through uni. You can do it. Trust me. Take your student loan and just put half of it in savings.
Yeah.
I've not worked
Just
since
do
that.
September.
Or, you know, question, just another thing to add to this, or buy a Lego Death Star with the remainder of your student loan, because that's what I did.
Or do that.
Or spend
You
it
still
on
need to
trades.
show your Lego Death Star properly in full footage. We're gonna do another Star Wars thing, and we will have the Death Star in it.
I still have the footage recorded. It's just because the podcast last week just died, so we had to re-record it.
Yeah, man, that was long, and it was an hour and 40 minutes.
This one's no better. This is literally an hour and 40. We've been going since 12.
Yeah, but at least
Oh,
this is
shit.
excusable. This is excusable because there's 4 people. Last time it was just me and you.
True.
That was the thing. It was just me and you chatting shit about Star Wars for an hour and 40 minutes. Like, at least you got different perspectives this time.
Very true. Right. Is there, considering it has been an hour and 40, is there anything else anybody would like to say?
No.
Okay,
Good.
right.
Good?
Let's do the routine wrap up then, shall we? Right. So I will
Yes,
put the reviews that we do for WandaVision somewhere in the corner. I think it's going to be up there probably. Also, I'll put the rest of the playlist for the podcast up here as well at another point during the video. This is just me reminding myself to do it. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. There will also be, I don't know if Will's will be because Will doesn't really use social media, but we'll put Meg's Instagram in the description as well if anyone wants to follow her.
Just want to say too, don't know what will be out first, whether it will be the podcast or this other video that we're doing, but we're doing a Destruction All-Stars review. We're literally going to work on that straight after this. So if you're thinking about getting the game, you'll know. We'll have a video up very soon about that.
Yeah, I think it should be up first. I think as soon as we get it recorded, it should go straight out.
Plug, plug, plug. Plug, plug.
Yeah,
Plug,
cheeky plug.
Subscribe, plug, subscribe. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's everything for this week. Again, we don't have any
That's
idea
all.
what we're doing next week, so we'll come up with it at some point. But yeah,
We'll think of something.
yeah. Thank you. If you've stayed this long, then I hope at least
You're
something you've
insane.
heard has been useful. Yeah, I hope something's been useful.
Yeah, I hope it's helped in some way. But yeah, thank you to our lovely guests. It was very nice having you. I'm sure we'll see you back again at some point to discuss other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having
Yeah.
us.
I've got nothing
Anytime,
better
darling.
to do. Cheers.
The difference in responses.
And it-
Oh my
Will
God.
was lovely. I even blew him a kiss. Meg was like, "Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about anything." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh man.
I've got
But
an
yeah.
Asian wood to read after this. And I'm going to make toasty, then I've got my publishing talk.
Yeah, to be fair, I need to get food as well. I haven't eaten
Don't
breakfast
tell
yet.
my girlfriend I'm about to eat a Scotch egg. Just don't let my girlfriend know because she won't be happy with me.
Just don't let her watch the video. Actually, no, do, because we need the views.
We do.
Just make sure she don't get to the end. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Just let her click on it and then go straight off.
Also, please leave it in the comments, right? Just settle this debate forever. Are Scotch eggs good? Yes or no? The only answer is yes, but just let me know.
And that's
your
how we'll know
opinion.
you got to the end of the episode if you put it
That's
in the
how we'll
comments.
know. Yeah.
That- we should do this from now on. Is put a question right at the end to see if anyone answers it.
Do you know what we'll do? We'll put a timestamp somewhere in the video randomly to click on that will bring you to the question, and then I want it answered. That's what we should do. That would be cool.
All right. This is the longest exit we've ever done, but
It really
You can
is.
say that
Definitely.
because Finton's the one dealing with this podcast, so he can do that magic stuff, and I
yes, I can
not
because
worry
I
about
taught
it.
myself how to do it. But yeah. Anyway, we will see you. Stop long-winding this, Gio. All right, with your coffee. Right. We will see you next week. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.